Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess, and today I just wanted to sit down, have a quick chat. As your resident chatty Cathy, there was some recent news that came out yesterday in the bookish community that was huge and kind of, well, really unprecedented. And there's been some varying opinions online, and then I also want to kind of respond, not in any negative way, but just with my opinions to Daniel Greene's video that he made in response to the announcement. So if you don't know from the thumbnail, Brandon Sanderson, who is a very popular, very successful fantasy writer, had a video go up yesterday. So today is Wednesday. The video went up Tuesday, but on Monday he did like a teaser video that was like 1 minute long, saying he was having a video come out the next day that was going to talk about his future, his career, and like something he's been hiding from fans. So some people were worried, but he did clear up that it wasn't anything health-wise or like, you know, no one's sick or anything, just something that would impact his career going forward. So I didn't see that until it was already updated. So I was like, And my friend Elliot Brooks, had invited me to do a live stream reacting to his video when it premiered. And so she was thinking that it probably was something about like an adaptation, and I thought the same. So watching the video, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it already, it'll be linked below. But essentially, he was talking about, since this Penny Proud has been going on, we've all had our own reactions to it and ways that we've coped. And his way of coping was to write a book. And not just one, not just two, he wrote 5. So he wrote 4 full-length novels and one that's going to be turned into a graphic novel. And so, if you know Brandon Sanderson, you already know that he writes really fast. He writes constantly, still somehow makes time for his wife and kids. It's phenomenal. Everyone's not a fan of Brandon Sanderson, but he does have a pretty wide fan base. He is a, like I said, very, very successful, popular fantasy writer. And so, as we're watching this video, of course, as Sanderson fans, we're like, oh my gosh, this is wild. And the way he's doing it is that next year they're going to release the 4 books quarterly, but also he's doing like a subscription box for the whole year that are specific to, you know, Sanderson books. So it's like the ultimate thing for the Sanderson fans. It's like a year of Sanderson, and he's doing it via Kickstarter, which he launched right when the video premiered. And the Kickstarter has like taken off. I think it's broken the record for fastest Kickstarter, like to meet its goal for a publishing project, because within less than an hour, it had met its goal and surpassed it. So the goal was $1 million, because it is a lot going into it. And it is, well, the last time I checked, it was over $14 million. And this came out yesterday. So wild. So of course there's been various takes, people who don't like Sanderson and are like, I wish an author who actually wrote good books would have done something like this, or if you just whatever. Like I said, everyone doesn't love him. I'm a fan of Sanderson. I haven't loved every single book, or every book I've read from him hasn't been 5 stars, but I'm a fan. And as a fantasy fan, this is amazing. I was talking to Elle and I was saying, if anybody else, like anybody else I was really a fan of did something like this, they could have my money. Fonda Lee, Jay War, I don't know where I'm pointing. N.K. Jemisin, if there was a way to kickstart to make special editions of N.K. Jemisin, have my money. City of Brass, have my money. I mean, I already spent a lot on these Goldsboro edition because of the conversion rate, but we don't need to talk about that. So, I'm very excited about it. A lot of people are very excited about it. And then obviously there's been tweets. And so then Daniel's video. Obviously, if you know him, he is a really big booktube channel. He does like fantasy news and keeps up with, you know, various things surrounding fantasy, whether that's books or adaptations, etc., etc. And so his video in the second half was talking about his thoughts on what Brandon Sanderson is doing, and he was of course happy and thought it was a great idea. But my problem, or where we don't align in our thoughts here, is that he said this should be the future of publishing. And I think that is, I don't want to say wrong, but that is not possible. He also said, like, he has been yelling into, you know, the ether that all publishing companies, big and small, need to do this. They really need to put this much time and effort behind their authors. They need to make their own Brandon Sanderson. They need to help because Brandon Sanderson also has a YouTube channel, and they need to help their authors create a really, you know, well-edited, well-produced YouTube channel. And I'm like, no. So one, I don't think that this is the future of publishing because it's unrealistic. And two, I don't think it's possible, and granted, I don't work in publishing, but I do not think it's possible for publishing, even the big ones, to put this much effort into multiple authors. So, if you don't know, Brandon Sanderson, like I said, is very successful. Robert Jordan was writing The Wheel of Time in the 90s, and he passed away before it was finished. And I don't know the exact story of how it happened because I haven't looked into like exactly how it happened. So I'm sure someone in the comments will let me know. But I think Brandon Sanderson had started writing. I don't know how they met, but Robert Jordan knew that if he wasn't able to finish the series, he wanted Brandon Sanderson to finish it, which is a huge, honor, and also a huge way to get your name out there. If somebody who's already been writing this very popular series, because Wheel of Time is a beloved series, and then you get to finish it out, and fans for the most part are happy with you finishing it out, then you automatically get a boost. So yes, Brandon Sanderson, and he's admitted this guy very lucky. One, he's a cisgender white man. I mean, that's already working for him. And I don't know his background, but I don't think he came up struggling. So he obviously had advances that other people didn't. And then he got this really lucky opportunity, and he's spoken about how Brandon Sanderson books, a lot of them that are adult, exist in his universe that he's made up called the Cosmere. And he said himself that this really only worked because of what Marvel was trying to do with their cinematic universe, and that he was trying to publish those books at the same time. And so he got lucky. So it was a combination of his work, as he does write really fast, his work ethic, being able to finish the Wheel of Time books, and then things with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and they all just worked to be perfect. And he is huge. He has a lot of money. He makes a ton of money. This man is wealthy. There's no denying that. So he has his own production publishing company kind of called Dragonsteel. And so he's able to do way more than a regular author who is just working directly with a traditional publisher or even self-publisher. So I think it is, I don't know what the word is. It's not good. I'm not good with vocabulary, but I think it's dangerous to say this is or this should be the future of publishing, because this is just not going to happen. We talk about on this channel all the time how stingy publishing is and how they can give this much money to this project, but then not a lot of money to this project. And I just think it's impossible. And I think in any arena for everyone to be a top build, everyone's not a Brandon Sanderson. Everyone's not a Will Smith, a LeBron. There's always A list, then B list. There's tiers, there's layers. It's a parfait to the publishing industry. But also, Brandon Sanderson wrote 5 books. And if you don't like him, that's fine. If you think it's evident in his writing that he writes really fast and it's not good, that's fine. It's not for you. It's obvious there's a lot of people who enjoy it and are going to read it. I think that saying this is how publishing should be, I don't know if he meant it in the literal sense of every author should be writing this many books this fast. That's not fair. Everyone is different. I tried NaNoWriMo twice and I was like, this is not for me. But some people take years. Who's everybody's favorite? Erin Morgenstern wrote The Night Circus. People have loved it for years. And then I don't know when that one came out. And then it was years before she wrote or published her next book. And some people can write way faster. Romance writers are incredible. And a lot of times, yes, their stories are shorter and maybe it's not as involved because there's not, world building or whatever, but still some of them write really fast and some don't. Some people put out a book every year. Everyone is different. So to say, and maybe he didn't mean that, but I just, that's not good. Then also this amount of money and saying other authors need to do this or other publishers. Again, Brandon has Dragonsteel. It's his company, so he can do something like this. This is not a publisher giving someone an advance and then the publisher's doing it. This is his company, his staff, and he's like, I already wrote these things. He knows he has the teams in place to get cover designs, to get it printed, to package, to ship all these things, to handle all of this stuff. He has that in his company. And so Kickstarter was all these fans coming together because he has so many being like, yes, I'm getting something out of this. So here's my money in advance. I don't know, we don't know the cover, we don't know the title of the book or what they're about, but generally he says sci-fi fantasy. If you like Brandon Sanderson, more than likely you're going to at least like 2 out of these 4 books, pretty sure. And if not, at least they'll be pretty on your shelves. So I hope I'm making sense here. I just think that's not realistic, and it feels like a way to kind of look down on other authors who are doing this. He addressed saying some authors saying have fear of public speaking, or they don't want to get on social media and promote. And I know that social media is our main thing. but people do, like, for whatever reasons, you don't want to be on social media, and maybe it is anxiety, or maybe it's all these different things. I just don't think it's like great to say this is what you should have to do. I do agree that publishing should put more behind more authors, because they tend to choose just certain ones to push, and then other books come out and you don't hear a lot about it. So I definitely agree there. But the amount of work that is going into this year's Sanderson project, to think that publishing has that many people at their disposal to do that for multiple authors every year or something, is ridiculous. What I think could be cool, and again, I'm not trying to have this come off as like, if you're an author and you're not doing these things, you're dumb. Like, that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is, like, for something like this, what could be cool is if maybe someone who is already, because recently we've had a lot of trends of self-published authors who are getting a lot of exposure through TikTok, and then a major publisher picks up their book and republishes it. So I could see if that was maybe your thing, and then you did a Kickstarter for your second book, and, you know, maybe you did something special for the fans or something like that. But some people are saying if publishing could only give this money to BIPOC authors and stuff like that, which, yes, but this isn't publishing giving Brandon Sanderson money. This is not like some $7 million advance that he is getting. This was a crowd fund from already established fans that were like, here's my money, I want to support the thing. I think that if other authors did do this, if they wanted to, granted you have to want to, and then you also need the resources to do so, because you best believe if Sarah J. Maas did something like this, it would blow up. Certain people have these really dedicated fandoms, and Brandon Sanderson is one. Like I said, I have people that I am waiting for. It's probably gonna be a subscription company, but if they did it themselves, I would love to fund some kind of Kickstarter or whatever to get special editions and boxes and merch and stuff for some of my favorite series. I am waiting, I am begging for the Broken Earth Trilogy special editions. But like, there are other authors who do this. Michael J. Sullivan, who wrote Ryria Revelations, currently has a Kickstarter going on for the next book, and I can't remember what the series is, but the first one is Nolan that I have up there. You can't see it. I'll have that link down below. So it's not new, but Brandon Sanderson, like I said, is just huge, so he has a lot of people who are willing to give him a lot of money so that his project is funded. But this is not the future of publishing. What I would like to see in the future of publishing is that they stop merging and they stay independent, and I don't know what they're doing with their money, right? Publishers are always saying they don't have any money, but then print sales are somehow up, and I know they're making hella money off of us. Special editions, ebooks, audiobooks, like, they're making money. I just don't know where it's going. It's probably going to the salaries of the higher up, which is very ghetto. What I would love publishing to do, besides diversifying who is getting all of the marketing, is diversifying the entire company, and in an ideal world, not having people at the top making 6-7 figures so that more money can trickle down to other people, so that maybe those people would have time to invest in more marketing and promotion for more than just their, you know, top billed authors, and then more people could get more exposure. But this model of, even if it was writing one book a year and then having like a whole, this is not realistic for most people. Brandon Sanderson writes fast. He already has the audience. He has his own company that can do all of these things. So he can come up with these fun ideas, very involved ideas, because he has the people to make it happen. So those are my thoughts. I do want to address, I know a couple people said they felt it was like in bad, poor taste, or like emotionally manipulative the way he did it with like teasing, because he kind of looked like sad and stuff in the video. And I can see that. One of my friends was saying she was like already anxious, and she was getting really anxious when she saw that, because she saw it before the update. And then, you know, with what's happening with Ukraine and everything in the world. And I get that, but also it was a great distraction. And I mean, some people took offense to it. I didn't. I don't know. Anyway, I would love to know your thoughts on this. If you are really excited, or if you don't care, or if you do see a problem with it. And then I also want you to tell me your thoughts on like the whole, do you think this is like, I mean, I don't think it's feasible, but do you think this is feasible for publishing, or see this as the direction publishing going? I do already know that a lot of newer authors have been encouraged, or even like they've had to create like Twitter and stuff because their publisher told them to so they can promote themselves. And so I know that's the thing because we are on social media. I can get that. But to say that you need to have a YouTube video or like a well-edited, produced YouTube channel and producing all this stuff on all social media platforms and putting out all these books constantly, that's a lot. People work at their own pace, have their own ways. They do things for a reason. They may suffer from any kind of mental illness. Like, just, I don't know. Brandon Sanderson obviously deals with stress and anxiety in a different way than a lot of people. He writes and he got lost in a lot of stories. I like to eat or sleep. You know, some people don't have all of these ideas in their head, or they're just going to be slower to write it. So I just don't like that thought. You know what I'm saying? And also, if everyone wrote like Brandon Sanderson, we would never be able to keep up. We can't keep up now. The amount of FOMO I have for the amount of books that I can't read, that I know I won't be able to read in my lifetime, even though I'm trying to read whatever I can, is already through the roof. Like, I'm just sad at how many books I will not be able to get to. So if everyone was writing like Brandon Sanderson, even if it was a book a year, child, you think we're bad with these unread books on our shelves now. They would just be, I mean, toppling over. So I don't know if I hit everything I wanted to say. I don't know, but anyway, any thoughts, whatever, down below. And I doubt he'll see this, but if Daniel Green somehow is watching this is no like shade to you. I just don't think that those thoughts, I just don't agree, and that's fine. We can have a difference of opinion, and that's that. So anyway, I would love to know any of your thoughts or opinions on this situation. And did you back the Kickstarter? I did. Yes, I did. So thanks for watching. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe. I'm sorry Nigel's not here. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But stay blessed, hydrated, moisturized, and sunscreen. I'll see you in the next one.